Y'all, I'm on a roll. This is the third movie review I have done in less than 24 hours. That's like a record for me, I think. But I have seen 3 movies that I specifically wanted to do reviews for. Last night was Nightmare Alley. Then this afternoon into the evening was Spider-Man No Way Home. And then tonight I watched a screening of Belfast. It was an online screening. I'd had the opportunity, or the opportunity was offered to go see it on my big screen for free a few weeks back, but I wasn't able to, for whatever reason, I can't even remember. I wasn't able to go. And in all honesty, this is really a movie that's perfectly fine without watching it on the big screen. Obviously, the big screen is a more enjoyable experience overall. For me anyway, it's more immersive. You just get pulled into the story a little bit better. But watching it on the small screen of my laptop ended up being just fine. So the movie in question obviously is Belfast. This was directed and written by Kenneth Branagh. From what I understand, it's a semi-autobiographical account of his childhood in Belfast, I guess, obviously. And in a lot of ways, this movie felt like a love story to the area, to the little place where he grew up. I'm assuming that this, is more explicitly about his life than not. Obviously, I mean, maybe some of the stuff is a little bit hyped up and dramatic. I have no clue. But anyway, the child in this story, his name was Buddy. Yeah, Buddy. And this little actor is so freaking good. I mean, his little face was adorable. His little voice was adorable. There were moments where the camera lingered on his face while other people were talking to him, interacting with him, and it was just on his face. And it was so expressive and just freaking adorable. I wanted to hug this kid. Anyway, I feel like he should get an award for this. I mean, his performance reminded me in a lot of ways of the performance that was done by the kid who played in Jojo Rabbit. I can't remember his name now, but both of these little boys were just very, very good in their roles. And something that I liked about this movie was the simplicity of the story. It was simple. It was about his childhood in Belfast during a time of upheaval because the Catholics and the Protestants, and there's terrorism and crap going on, and he's kind of caught in the middle, and his father works in the UK. I mean, he works in England, and so he leaves home for, long periods of time to go work, and he's wanting to bring his family out of that situation because things are getting really bad. The little boy has been swept up in things a couple of times, and the mother is the holdout. She does not want to leave, and it's understandable. I mean, for a short period of the film, I was feeling a little bit agitated with her because I'm thinking, can't you see what's good? Like, this is bad. You need to remove your children from this situation. But then there was this little moment of conversation between her and her husband, and I could really identify with how she felt and the why she didn't want to leave. I got it. And they were just in a really bad situation overall. The little boy didn't want to leave because he loved his neighborhood. They lived, real close by, if not next door to his grandma and grandpa. And so, I got this little warm, fuzzy, cozy, sweet, sentimental feeling about this little neighborhood. Everybody knew each other. They would mingle in the streets all the time, have little parties in the streets, and it was there was something very touching about this movie. Touching in a sweet, sentimental way, but also in a sad way because people were leaving the area because things were getting so bad and people were left behind. It's just a very simple theme, but quite impactful for me. I expect this movie's probably going to be nominated for quite a few awards. This certainly, this is obviously something that the critics will absolutely love because you know how the critics are. But this is one of those few cases where I feel like, yeah, this is a pretty, well-deserved nomination if it gets it. In my opinion, like if I were one of the Academy Award people, I would generally not pick the same sorts of films they pick, because I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the movies that they pick for awards are very pretentious and just uppity and things that most normal people don't really connect with very well. And I feel like a lot of people would probably find it very easy to connect with this story. It doesn't feel pretentious. It doesn't feel beyond your grasp of understanding and ability to connect with these characters. I think the themes running through this story are things that most people can identify with. You know, possibly having to leave your hometown and leave the people that you grew up with and leave your close family, things like that. That's certainly something that I think it's easy for all of us to understand. But I was struck by how this film started off very sweet and innocent. Little kid playing in the street. It's got the garbage can lid, using it as a shield, and he's fighting these monsters, and he's running home, and everybody's saying, "Your mom's calling you for your tea." You know. So anyway, it was just cute. And then very quickly, just like that, things turned on a dime, and a terrorist attack happened, and you could see it, how it was affecting him through his eyes. In a lot of ways, this movie is a coming of age story, but it's just done in such an adorable way. I really appreciated the heck out of this movie. At first, I didn't think that I would like the black and white aspect of it, but it seems fitting, honestly, and it didn't really bother me all that much. What else? Talked about how it started off. The kid's a really good actor. Yes, I also like that they wove these different sort of narratives in there. You have childhood, hometown in turmoil, and you have religion is woven into it. Terrorism type stuff is woven into it. Family, home life situations woven into it. The family's having financial troubles, and the mother's the one that stays behind to raise the kids, and she's very stressed about that. And she and her husband sometimes they have these pretty tumultuous fights. I mean, she's the type of wife that, while I understand where she's coming from and her frustration, I didn't appreciate the violence that she would display. She would throw things at her husband and break things and just act like an idiot. I didn't like that part of her character at all, though I understood where her emotion was coming from. But fundamentally, the married couple seemed to have a very deep, loving connection, and there were moments of genuine just tenderness and sweetness between them that I thought was very well done, and it wasn't sappy. It was just sweet. Anyway, so I really liked that. Also, it was cute how the kid was so fascinated with movies, which ties in obviously to Kenneth Branagh. He ended up becoming an actor, a movie director and stuff like that. And there would be moments where he would be watching a film on the big screen, and he was just like, oh, it was just fascinating to him. It was so cute the way he was reacting to it, like it was so real, And I thought that was really cute. There was also a funny moment. It was not really supposed to be a funny moment. There's some looting that starts to go on because these idiots are coming through causing mayhem. I just can't stand people like that. I cannot stand when idiots act like that. I don't care what reason they say they're arguing for or protesting about or whatever. When you start behaving like that, you have just completely lost me. Completely. I am not on your side at all. So there were idiots acting like that in this film, and the kid gets dragged into it. I'm kind of delving a little bit into spoilerish stuff, but I'm not really. I'm not going to be as careful as I was about Spider-Man and Nightmare Alley, but this isn't really anything that's a huge spoiler. But the little kid, he follows along and ends up looting I don't know, what was it? Was it laundry detergent or something? And he comes home and he tells his mom sees what he's done, and his response to her was, it's biological, because it's like something, I don't know, enzymes or whatever in whatever it was. I couldn't tell. It was a brand name I didn't recognize. But that was an absolute laugh out loud moment for me. I laughed out loud very hard. And then of course she takes out after him because she's a loving mother, but she's also a very firm mother. She does not let him get by with crap. And she will go out after him, and she did. It was a funny scene, and I was laughing. It was really cute. But while this type of movie isn't really something that I would naturally gravitate toward, it certainly isn't something that is a complete turnoff to me. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to watch it because I don't know, it was good. I feel like it's definitely worth checking out. And I don't think you have to be from this area to understand the themes that are kind of, that are woven throughout the story. I just think it's something that everybody can appreciate, and I recommend y'all checking it out. Anyway, I think that's it. Have anything else? Yeah, this kid was really, he was freaking adorable. I really liked really liked his work in here. And Judi Dench was good as well. I didn't recognize the girl who played the mother. Well, I thought her face looked a little familiar, and his face looks familiar too, but I don't know who he is. And of course, the guy who plays the father, I completely recognize him. I think the very first thing I saw him in was maybe the Falling or something. It was like a UK series with Gillian Anderson, and he was like a serial killer. That might have been the very first thing I saw him in. Anyway, whatever, that was a tangent. But yeah, I think this film was great, and I recommend you all checking it out. Just give it a whirl. It's not very long, only about an hour and a half. An hour and, 37 minutes or something. So, yeah. Okay, I don't have anything else, so I am wrapping this up for now, you guys. Adios.